Hey guys, it's Mitch here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I just wanted to show you a quick tour of my little growing area where I'm growing my jewel orchids. This is just one of my tanks. I have quite a few tanks over there, and these are all full of propagations and over there as well. But this is my favorite tank, the crown jewel of the jewels, where I put my favorite jewel orchids. I like this tank because it has these little doors that open. I think it's a terrarium for animals, but you can use it for plants. And I just have these little aquarium LED lights on the top. They work really well. I got them on Amazon, and they have these little timers on the cords, so they're very easy to use. I'll see if I can find the link and post it down below the video in case you're interested. They come in all different sizes, and I use them on my longer tanks as well. But the jewel orchids seem to really like the light, and they grow very well. And I do like growing them in tanks because it keeps the temperature kind of more steady, and they do seem to like that and put on lots of nice growth. I'll go through some of my favorite ones. This one is obviously my favorite here in the middle. This is a huge Dacinia marmorata. It is massive. It is way bigger than all of my other plants. When that new leaf unfurls, like, it's going to be huge. I can't wait till it's a big mother plant. Because what they tend to do is they tend to put out quite a few leaves and then they bloom. So this one, my Anoctocylus chiapensis, is about to bloom. There's a flower spike there. Same with this one. This is Anoctocylus cauchunensis cross siamensis, and it's going to flower too. So it'll put out its nice stem of blooms, and then once it dries up, you'll see, like, here's the Macodes Patola, there was the bloom spike, so it bloomed, and then now that it's done blooming, what it does is shoot out these little babies. There's one there, there. They come out all along the stem. So it's kind of nice because they're going to clump up really quickly. Even sometimes, like this one, I'm not really sure what happened. It didn't really bloom, but it shot out a little leaf, and then now it has a new growth coming here just underneath. That's a Dacinia marmorata dark. It's still quite small, so I'm surprised that it is growing a new growth out of there, but it is what it is. I'm not always happy to have new plants. This one is Dacinia marmorata Lewis, which is really nice, although it's still quite small. This is Macodes limii, which I love. This one had the craziest leaves. They all looked like that, and then it got some infestation of bugs. And you know what? I wasn't really sure how to treat them, so I dipped it in horticultural oil. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. And it all lost all of the leaves. So anyway, this is the except for this one. That's one of the original ones, but now it's sending out a new growth. So note to self, don't ever use horticultural oils on jewel orchids. If they get bugs now, what I do is just wash them with soap and water. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I just take them to the sink and lather them up. Lather, and then just rinse them off, and then keep them isolated. So some of my jewel orchids at the moment, they got a infestation of mealybugs, so they're in there. They're all in isolation. Some of them needed to be propagated anyway, but I give them lots of space in there. I just wash them all off and now keep my eye on them, and then kill any mealybugs that I see. some insects really like jewel orchids because they're just so juicy, and the temperatures that I grow them in are good for insect development, right? Because jewel orchids like really steady temperatures. In here, it's about 20 to 25 degrees all day, all night. So, and the other thing is, if you grow them in tanks, the bugs just can propagate really, really quickly. So now I keep everything really spread out. When I water them, I take them out and take a good look at them and just keep on top of everything, because if you get one little insect in there, it can multiply really, really quickly and just kill your whole collection really, really fast. This is a cool one. This is Macody's Patola, and it's called Prime. It's supposed to have like really nice big veins. It's just a baby, but it has a little baby coming out too. This one I love because it has these very cool dark, it's hard to see on the camera, but they're like really golden veins. And it's Cody's Patola Thailand crossed with Sawarak. And this one actually rotted for me. There was 2 or 3 in there. This little baby is coming back now. But, you know, another thing to grow your orchids really well, your jewel orchids, don't water them late in the day. Like, don't water them when you're gonna leave them overnight. Every time I've had one rot out, it's because I did that. I sprayed them with water, and then the water sat there all night, and then that's it. The rot set in, and it's like a scramble to save the plant. Anyway, it is growing a new baby there, so I was gonna repot it, but I just didn't get around to it. But look at these nice, this one you can kind of see on the camera how it's like a golden color. Very, very nice. This one is an Octocylus roxburghii, and it's called CC. Very pretty, very small, very thin leaves. Like some jewel orchids have very thin leaves. I think these ones kind of need more humidity. So it's good to grow them in the tanks. This one's really nice too, and it looks like it's about to flower. This one is an Octocylus ronwartii. Very nice. These ones are just Macody's Patola, which I think they're just my favorite overall, just because they grow so easily, and like, look at these leaves. You just can't really beat that. I mean, other than Dicinia marmorata, that's my other favorite one. Yeah, so that's my little tank. The temperature here stays pretty steady, so they really like it. The lights are on for about 12 hours a day. I do water with room temperature water. I just kind of store it in these water bottles, and then just when I take them out to water, I just kind of squirt around the edge of the pot. I don't get water on them if I can avoid it. Like I said before, every single time I've had a plant rot, it had to do with water. Water in the crown, water on the plant, water late in the day. So I just kind of keep them more on the dry side, and when I do water, I water early in the day and then give them time to kind of dry off before it goes into the nighttime. And you know, if something does start to rot, I mean, you can just cut it up and save it, cut the rot off, and do stem cuttings. Here, I'll show you my new little purchases. These ones I got last week. My new thing that I do now too, because of insects, is I just keep everything new isolated. That's why everything is in these like storage containers, because you know when you have a grow area, it's really easy for an insect to take advantage of that. And so these ones I got last week, so I'll keep them in here for a few weeks and let them do their thing, and I'll keep them together actually in their little container. So this is McCody's Lowii, really pretty. And then these are beautiful. This is Anoctocylus roxburghii, but this variety has these beautiful pinky gold leaves, really, really nice. So I got a bunch of those. We'll see how they acclimatize. Yeah, and then some of these are like Anoctocylus formosanus. So this one got thrips, so I had to just clean it off, and those are all fresh stem cuttings that I put in last week. And here's some McCody's patola. There's another Dicinia marmorata, but it was getting really leggy, so I just nipped the top off. This is my favorite Anoctocylus formosanus, but it had mealybugs. These are all these new little divisions that I did from my mama plants. So this is a nice Ludicea discolor alba, Ludicea Spider-Man, Ludicea discolor. This is Ludicea discolor ambrosia, and this one is Ludicea discolor nigrescens. So those were all, I got a bunch of plants in the spring that were really leggy, so I just did stem cuttings. This is kind of my propagation area. These are nice. These are Anoctocylus koshunensis crossed with Siamensis white stripe. So many babies. All I did was cut the stems into little sections and let them grow. This is a nice Ludicea discolor from Clouds Orchids called Clouds Green Lantern. So yeah, these are all my little cuttings. All doing very well. This is one of my main tanks. I have to get in here. You can see my Spider-Men are out of control. They love it. That's a beautiful discolor called Clouds White Lightning. There's a normal alba there. My Sanderianas are growing there really, really nicely. These ones got some insects in the spring, but you can see now they're popping out new babies, so I'm just going to leave them in there. And then this is kind of my last tank. It's mostly Sanderiana and Patola and Spider-Man. Anyway, that's it. That's my quick tour. It's not so quick. It's like 15 minutes, but these have quietly taken over my grow area, but I just love them so much. They're very, very low maintenance once you know how to grow them. And I love how I can just close the doors to the tank. I can go away. I don't have to water them very often. They're very, very happy just growing along slowly. I usually wait till they're quite crispy and dry before I water them. They like it more on the dry side, and that goes for every single one. I'm always a little bit trepidatious when I see people growing them in these closed tanks, soaking wet, spraying them with water. I don't know how people get away with growing them like that, where they don't rot, because for me they rot every single time. But if you keep them on the dry side and the humidity kind of right and water them carefully, they'll grow very well for you. You have lots and lots of plants. Anyway, hope you like this video. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment down below. I do have pictures of these on my Instagram, so you can always check that out too. And I'll see you next time.